good morning or good afternoon, football fans. It's playoff time. Big Al here on this Saturday, January 11th, 2025, and welcome to my Super Wild Card Round picks. Both straight up and against the spread and the injury reports from every game in this opening round of the 2025 NFL playoffs. Before we begin, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. And let's jump right in to the latest injury reports from all 6 Super Wild Card playoff games this weekend. And it all starts in a few hours with the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. We'll start with the Chargers. They have a bunch of names on here. Quarterback Eli Apple is questionable with a hamstring. Running back J.K. Dobbins is questionable with an ankle. Wide receiver Simi Fehoko is questionable with an elbow. Wide receiver Quentin Johnston is questionable with a thigh and an illness. Wide receiver Josh Palmer is out with a foot. Linebacker Denzel Perryman is questionable with a groin. Tackle Trey Pipkins is questionable with an oblique. And cornerback Jasir Taylor is doubtful with a rib. And for the Texans, you've got guard Shaq Mason, who's out today with a knee. Wide receiver John Mechie III, questionable with a shoulder. And tight end Tegan Quitorino something. I don't know. He's questionable with a calf. Later tonight, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll begin with the visiting Steelers. Tackle Calvin Anderson is questionable with a groin. Linebacker Cole Holcomb is out with a knee. Defensive end Logan Lee is out with a calf. Guard Mason McCormick is questionable with a hand, and wide receiver Roman Wilson is out with a hamstring. And for the Ravens, wide receiver Zay Flowers is out with a knee, so that's going to impact them a bit. Wide receiver Deontay Hardy has a knee injury and is listed as questionable, but they list him as non-injury related or a personal matter. Alright, Sunday's tripleheader begins with the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills, and we'll begin with the Broncos, who only have 2 names. Running back Tyler Batty is questionable with a back, or should I say Tyler Beatty, sorry about that. And tackle Frank Crum is out with an illness. And for the Buffalo Bills, cornerback Brandon Codrington is questionable with a hamstring. And that's the only name that has status. Everyone else on the injury report doesn't have one. Alright, game 2 on Sunday is the Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll begin with the Packers. Safety Zane Anderson is out with a concussion. Defensive end Brenton Cox Jr. is questionable with a foot. Tackle Andre Dillard is questionable with a concussion. Defensive tackle Teddarell Slayton and linebacker Quay Walker are both questionable with ankles. Wide receiver Christian Watson is out with a knee. That's a big piece of that offense. And safety Evan Williams is questionable with a quadricep. Only a couple names to mention for the Eagles, including guard Trevor Keegan with an illness and defensive tackle Byron Young with a hamstring, both listed as out. The big news out of this game is, of course, quarterback Jalen Hurts. He cleared concussion protocol, so he will play for the Eagles tomorrow. A.J. Brown was also listed on the injury report, but it looks like he's going to play as well. On Sunday night, the Washington Commanders visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only 2 names for Washington. Those are wide receiver Jamison Crowder, questionable with a hamstring, and tight end Colson Yankoff. He's out with a hamstring. A little bit of a longer list for the Buccaneers, including cornerback Jamil Dean. He's questionable with a knee. Safety Mike Edwards. is questionable with a quadricep. Defensive end Logan Hall is questionable with a groin. Cornerback Troy Hill is out with a knee and a foot. Tight end Cade Otton is questionable with a knee. And safety Antoine Winfield Jr. is also questionable with a knee, although I don't think he'll be playing on Sunday night. And there is no game status for the players listed for the Vikings and Rams, so we'll list the names that are on the injury report for both teams, beginning with Minnesota. You got running back Ty Chandler, quarterback Sam Darnold, running back Aaron Jones, defensive end Patrick Jones II, cornerback Fabian Moreau, tight end Josh Oliver, and defensive tackle Taki Tamani. And for the LA Rams, the two names listed here are tackle Rob Havenstein, and tight end Hunter Long. So that's a look at your injury report for Super Wildcard Weekend. Now we're going to get to the games. Now that turn my VPN back on because they always turning it off. So bear with me for just a moment. Okay. That's up. And now I gotta open my Sports Alerts app. And then we can get to the picks. Okay. So starting off Super Wildcard Weekend, you've got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. The Chargers went 11-6 during the regular season and landed the number 5 seed in the AFC, while the Houston Texans captured the AFC South for the second year in a row with a 10-7 record. That game is today at 4:30 Eastern on CBS. Your announcers are Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn. Current point spread is LA minus 2.5, and the over-under is at 41.5. All the point spreads and totals are from the Sports Alerts app, in case you were wondering. I'm taking the Chargers in this game because Houston is not playing their best ball. They're very inconsistent, and two of their top receivers are injured. So with that, I have the Chargers winning this game 27-17. I'm taking the Chargers at minus 2.5, and the game will go just over 41.5. Later tonight, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, and that game is tonight at 8 Eastern on Prime Video. Your announcers are Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung. The two teams split their series in the regular season, with the home team winning each. The Steelers fell to the number 6 spot in the AFC with a record of 10-7, while Baltimore captured the AFC West and a 12-5 record. Current point spread is Baltimore minus 9.5, and the over-under is 44. I'm taking the Ravens outright by a final of 24-17. I think this game will go under 44, but I'm taking Pittsburgh with the 9.5 points. On Sunday, you have 3 games. The first game is the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. Alright, the Denver Broncos clinched a playoff spot for the first time since winning the Super Bowl back in 2015, as they finished 10-7 in the regular season. The Buffalo Bills cruised their way to the AFC East title with a record of 13-4. That game is Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers will be Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson, and it's a milestone game for play-by-play announcer Jim Nantz. This is his 500th NFL game that he's calling in his career. So congratulations, Jim. Current point spread is Buffalo minus 8.5, and the over-under is 48. I thought about taking the Bills both ways, but I'm kind of doubling, but I'm kind of reverting back on one of these picks. I do think the Bills will win. I think the final will be 27-20. But I'm taking the Broncos plus the 8.5 points. I thought about taking Buffalo both ways, but I think Buffalo to win and Denver to cover sounds like the right move here. Next up. Oh, and the Broncos are the 7 seed in the AFC while the Bills are the 2 seed. Speaking of 7 versus 2, we have the 7-seeded Green Bay Packers visiting the 2-seeded Philadelphia Eagles. Despite a third-place finish in the NFC North, the Packers landed an 11-6 regular season record, while the Philadelphia Eagles, led by MVP candidate running back Saquon Barkley, won the NFC East and finished the regular season with a 14-3 record. That game is Sunday at 4:30 on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. Current point spread is Philadelphia -5, and the over-under is 45.5. And big news, as I mentioned during the injury report, Jalen Hurts will play at quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, after having been in concussion protocol the last couple of weeks. A.J. Brown is also expected to play in this game. So with that, I'm taking the Eagles here 31-20. I have the game going over 45.5. And I'm taking the Eagles minus the 5 points. The Sunday night triple-header wraps up in primetime as the Washington Commanders, the 6th seed in the NFC, visit the 3 seed and NFC champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10-7 in the regular season, while the Commanders had probably their best season since at least 1991, finishing 12-5. That game is Sunday night at 8 on NBC and Peacock. Your announcers are Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. Current point spread is Tampa Bay -3. The over-under is 50.5. There's going to be points in this game. Both offenses can score. I'm taking the Bucs to win this one 31-24. This game will finish over 50.5, and I'm taking the Buccaneers minus the 3. And then the last game on Super Wildcard Weekend has the number 5 seed in the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings, with a 14-3 record, facing off with the number 4 seed and 2024 NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams. The Vikings may very well be the best wildcard team of all time, finishing with a 14-3 record, while the Rams took the West and finished 10-7. This game is Monday night at 8 on ESPN and ABC, with special coverage on both ESPN2 and ESPN+. The announcers for the ESPN and ABC broadcasts are Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Lisa Salters. Now, with the wildfires going on across Southern California, this game will be played at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So, before we continue, gotta send some major prayers and love to everyone in Southern California dealing with these wildfires. It's just devastating, y'all. Alright, current point spread is Minnesota -2.5, and the over-under is 47.5. The Vikings defense is good, but I love LA's pass rush. These guys can get after Sam Darnold, I think, and force them into mistakes. And this is one of 4 rematches from earlier games we saw in the regular season, including this one. This was a Thursday night game back in October, which the Rams won 30-20. And I have the Rams taking this one again by a final score of 26-20. I have the game finishing just under 47.5, and I'm taking LA plus the 2.5 points as the home underdog. So there you have it. My picks against the spread and straight up for Super Wildcard Weekend and the injury reports for all 6 games. We'll recap Super Wildcard Weekend on the week that was. That's coming out on Tuesday, so make sure you join me for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.